From Hollywood, before a small, select audience of friends, relatives, and ushers, the Columbia Broadcasting System presents the Sweeney and March Show with the sensational singing group The Starlighters, Ed Max, Doris Singleton, June Foray, Irvin Lee, George Fenneman, Wilbur Hatch and his orchestra, and me, Bob Lamont. And here are the stars of our show, the young comedy stylists, Bob Sweeney and Hal March.
Thank you, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Hal March, and this shy gentleman at my side is Bob Sweeney. Shy a good deal of hair, too. Say something, please, Bob.
Oh, good night, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for listening.
No, Bob. Bob, that's wrong. I'm trying very hard to make a good radio comedian out of you. You've got to get over being so shy and backward. Come out with confidence and a big laugh like this. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Now try that, Bob. Now you're getting it. That's better. Now say something.
I can't. I'm laughing too hard.
Bob, just pretend. There's nothing really funny. On this show, we just talk about kinds of people everybody has known, like deep-sea divers or marathon runners or forest rangers, people you meet every day on the street. What are we going to do tonight, Bob?
Well,
What, tonight?
I'm still worried, Hal. I'm all mixed up and worried.
Bob, you've got to get a grip on yourself. Just keep saying that all those people listening in aren't really there. They're not really there. They're not really there.
All you people listening in, you're not really there.
Now, feel better? What's the matter now?
Maybe they're not really there.
Well, we'll just have to take a chance. Now, the first sketch tonight is about the fire department. I'm going to play the part of Captain March of the fire department.
Oh, swell, Hal. And can I be the guy who steers the back end of the hook and ladder? Clang, clang, get out the axes, turn on the water, man the hoses, and get on...
Bob.
Yes, Hal?
I've got a hot flash for you. In this sketch, somebody's house has to be on fire.
Oh, you don't mean Hal...
I'm afraid so.
Oh, I knew I'd get burned again.
A little firehouse music, Mr. Hatch. A few hot licks, please.
Men of Hook and Ladder Company number 4 and 10. Captain March, the men are assembled.
Thank you, Lieutenant Maxwell. Men of Hook and Ladder Company number 4, this is a fire company. And we demand a certain level of performance from the crew. For example, at the Mission Street fire this morning, Jones, Butler, and Weems were seen walking through the front door without swinging an axe.
But, Captain, the door was unlocked.
Lieutenant Maxwell. Rackety-bracks, coax, the firemen always use their axe.
Rackety-brack, coax, the firemen always use their axe.
Now remember that. Privately,
Yes, sir.
you're new here, and at one time I thought you had a brilliant future, but I suddenly discover you're inhibited. This morning in that Georgian mansion fire, you left a perfectly gorgeous Ming Dynasty vase intact.
Yeah, but, Captain, I thought it was just a cheap flower pot.
So you fancy yourself an art critic. I want this understood. When there's ever any doubt, swing! Rackety-bracks, coax, the firemen always use their axe.
Rackety-bracks, coax, the firemen always use their axe.
And just one more thing. This morning we had a beautiful fire for toasting. And what happened? No marshmallows. Lieutenant Maxwell, see to it that the man in charge of picnic supplies receives 5 lashes. Dismiss, company.
Company! Ed! Come in. Hello.
Hello?
Name?
Sweeney.
Fire?
Yes.
What?
House.
Blaze?
Yes.
Smoke?
Yes, thanks. Don't mind if I do. I'm a little nervous.
No. You misunderstand. Your house is on fire.
It is? Gee, I better get right home.
Wait a minute. If you want to report a fire, I think you'd better talk to Captain March.
All right.
Yes, Maxwell.
Captain, Mr. Sweeney here would like to report a fire.
Very well. Make your report, Mr. Sweeney.
Well, Captain, my house is on fire.
All right, you've made your report. Now, will you please go? I'm in the middle of a gin rummy game.
Well, gee, what's more important, your gin rummy game or my house is on fire?
Good heavens, man. I'm about to be blitzed at 2 cents a point.
I don't care what you're playing for. My house is on fire, and I want you fellas to come and put it out.
Well, all right. You'll have to fill out this application.
Application? Do I have to fill out an application to have my house on fire?
Certainly. And, of course, you have your priority.
I haven't got time to get a priority.
In that case, Mr. Sweeney, I would suggest that you report to our self-service fire station on Evans Street.
I don't have time. I came to you with a fire, and it's your job to put it out. After all, I'm a taxpayer, and I demand to
Mr.
get down there.
Sweeney, how much do you pay a year in taxes?
About $18.50, I guess, with deductions.
And how much of it do you think goes to the fire department?
Oh, about $1.98, I guess.
You mean to say that you expect 32 men and 5 pieces of apparatus to go to your house for $1.98? Bargain hunter.
Are you going to come and put out my fire or not?
Just as soon as you complete the application. Come in.
Who's the head man here?
I am, sir. I'm Captain March of the...
Shut up!
Sir, I think...
Shut up! It was beginning to bore me. Now, suppose you let me take the initiative in this conversation.
What's your name?
Never mind that. Never mind my name. Nobody has to know my name. It's none of your business what my name is. My name is Georgie Spinoni. And I used to operate in the east side. We're taking over this district now. Me and my 2 boys here come down to talk business with you.
Mr. Spinoni, if it's not asking too much, would you mind telling your 2 boys to take their guns out of my back?
All right, boys, take your guns out of his back.
Yes, Father.
All right, now let's talk. Say, what are you using for putting out your fires?
Water, of course.
What kind of water?
Why, water from the city fire hydrants.
How many gallons you use a week?
Oh, conservatively, I'd say about 7 gallons.
Yeah, well, from now on, you're using 9 gallons. And it's going to be bottled seltzer water.
Seltzer water? Why in the world do you want us to use seltzer water?
Because me and my boys like to hear it go bzzz.
Captain March, what about my house?
What about your house?
Well, it's on fire, you know.
Oh, yes. I think we can cut a little red tape and go now, Mr. Sweeney.
Well, fine. How do I get out of here?
Just slide down that pole, Mr. Sweeney, like the rest of us do.
Okay. Here I go.
Well, there goes another one. I wonder where that thing goes, anyway.
Here now are the Starlighters, 4 young fellows and a cute little miss to sing one of their recent recordings. On the boardwalk in Atlantic City, Wilbur Hatch and his orchestra chaperone.
Goodbye, little chicks, we are leaving the sticks. We are catching a train at 5:45, and if anyone should drop around,
won't you please tell them that we can be found
on the boardwalk in Atlantic City. We will walk in a dream on the boardwalk in Atlantic City. Life will be peaches and cream.
there where the saltwater air brings out a lady's charm.
There on a rolling chair, you roll right into your arms. Cinderella, you will find your fella, someone that you waited for. In romantic, enchanting Atlantic City, down on the old New Jersey shore.
On the boardwalk in Atlantic City, we will walk in a dream. On the boardwalk in Atlantic City, life will be peaches and cream.
There where the saltwater air brings out a lady's charm. will find your fella, someone that you've waited for. It's romantic, enchanting, Atlantic City, down on the old New Jersey shore.
Cinderella, you will find your fella, someone that you've waited for.
In romantic, enchanting, Atlantic City, down on the old New Jersey. Down on the Jersey shore.
Well, Hal? What kind of a public servant are we going to do now?
Well, this time, Bob, we're going to do a public servant who's just a little unusual.
Oh, you mean like a whisk broom?
Don't be ridiculous, Bob. We're going to do a public weighing machine.
A weighing machine?
That's right.
Well, how can you get a weighing machine to talk for the radio, Hal?
Bob, have you ever put a penny in a weighing machine and received a little card with your weight and fortune on it?
Yeah?
Who do you think writes those out?
Charlie McInerney?
Who is Charlie McInerney?
Friend of mine with a pencil?
No, Bob. No, not Charlie McInerney. Inside of every weighing machine is a little man. And all he does all day long is guess weights and write out fortunes.
Well, is he the guy we're going to do next?
Right, Bob. I'll be the man who fixes the machines, and you'll be the little man who writes out the fortunes.
But, Hal, I'm too big. I can't get inside one of those machines.
Yes, you can, Bob. It's all in the mind. Just keep saying to yourself, I'm tiny. I'm tiny. I'm tiny.
I'm tiny. I'm tiny.
That's tiny enough. Are you comfortable down there, Bob?
Yeah, except for one thing.
What's that, pal?
I'm tangled up in your shoelaces.
Way music, Mr. Hatch.
Way.
Hello, March Weighing Machine Company. March speaking.
Mr. March, I'd like to report an inaccuracy in one of your scales.
Yes, madam. What is it?
Well, I got on your scale at Hollywood and Vine.
Yes.
Now, I'm not complaining, mind you, but my fortune card said that I was lovely, devastatingly beautiful, with a gorgeous complexion and a sylph-like figure.
Oh, I would say that's very complimentary. What's your trouble, madam?
Well, you should see me. I'm a mess.
Very well, madam. I'll check that scale right away. Hollywood and Vine. That's Sweeney's scale. More than likely been nibbling on a fermented grape and high as a kite. I'll go down there right now and straighten him out once and for all. I'll get the back of that scale open and have a showdown with this little squirt. All right, Sweeney. On your feet and get your light on. I want to have a talk with you.
Oh, hello, Mr. March. I was just having lunch. You care to join me?
What are you eating there?
Birdseed blintzes?
No, thank you. I ate. Besides, I want to discuss your work with you. Do you realize that this is the only scale in town that gives me any trouble?
Well, what did I do? I've been guessing the weights and writing up the fortunes just like you told me.
Sweeney, how long were you in training school?
6 months, sir.
Where's your diploma?
Hanging on the wall here over my bookcase.
And what does the oath say on your diploma?
Oh, Mr. March, not again.
Read it, the oath, read it.
Read it?
The oath.
I, Robert Sweeney, promise that I will not add a pound here or take away a pound there. And I will not allow myself to go any larger than 3 inches.
What's the matter, Sweeney? You getting too big for this job?
No, sir.
Sweeney, you've changed, and I don't like what I see.
Just a minute, Mr. March, and I'll turn the light off.
That's what I mean, Sweeney. It's those smart answers. Let me ask you something. Do you recall the day you came to my office?
Yes, sir. I came to ask you for a job.
Exactly. And what experience did you have?
I was a foreman of a record-changing crew inside a jukebox.
That's right. That's exactly right. And do you remember why you left that job?
I was fired.
And why were you fired?
Because I got my head caught in a hole in a record. And I threw the whole jukebox into confusion.
Butterfingers, Sweeney.
Oh, I'll never live it down. It was awful.
Yes. And what was the outcome?
Toscanini ended up conducting Spike Jones. The Swallows flew back to Cucamonga and Ketos Capistrano. And the prisoner of love escaped.
And with a record like that, I took you in. And do you recall the lie you told me about your ability to tell fortunes?
Yes, sir. I said I could tell fortunes because when I worked in the jukebox, I used to go around with the gypsy.
Sweeney, sometimes I think I made a mistake with you.
Get back, Mr. March! Here comes a penny! Oh, gosh. These pennies frighten me to death. A guy can get hurt in here.
Aha! I'm glad I found out in time.
Found out what, Mr. March?
Not only are you careless, but you're stir-crazy. And I had you in mind for a promotion to a candy machine.
Oh, I could handle it, sir. Honestly, I could. I'll work hard and I'll study if you'll just give me a chance.
Don't be childish, Sweeney. If pennies frighten you, 2 days in the nickel machine and you'd be a gibbering idiot.
Oh, sir, I could use the promotion. My wife, well, she's going to have a baby.
Do you mean to stand there on that penny and tell me that you were about to become a father?
Well, sir, if it would make the company happy, I might try to become a mother.
Now, Sweeney, don't get smart with me.
But, sir, with the baby coming and everything, my wife is going to have to quit her job.
Your wife works? Sweeney, with the money you're earning, you allow your wife to work?
Well, sir, with prices the way they are, it's awfully hard to get along on 7 cents a week.
What kind of work does your wife do, Sweeney?
She's with the gas company, Mr. March. She sits under the grill in the middle of the gas stove. When you push the button, she blows the pilot light over towards the burner.
I'm sorry, Sweeney. I'd like to let you have that nickel machine, but my conscience just won't let me. I'm sorry.
Well, in that case, Mr. March, I'll just have to hand in my resignation. I didn't want to take it, but I've had a job offered to me in the movies.
What could you do in the movies?
Well, sir, they're remaking an old picture, and they want me for the leading man. I'm just the type.
What's the name of this picture?
Little Women.
The Starlighters sleep one off now underneath the willow tree.
Underneath the willow tree we sat alone, Marie and me. There she said she'd marry me, under the willow tree. What a happy pair were we. Did I love her? Did she love me? There she said she'd wait for me, under the willow tree.
We carved our names upon the tree and promised to be true.
But now she's gone and left me, and there's nothing I can do but wait beside the willow tree. Don't weep for me, oh willow tree, 'cause I'm gonna keep waiting for sweet Marie under the willow tree. I'll wait beside the willow tree. Don't weep for me, willow tree. Gonna keep waiting for sweet Marie under the willow tree. Underneath the willow tree sat alone, Marie and me. There she said she'd marry me under the willow tree. Underneath the willow tree sat alone, Marie and me. There she said she'd marry me under the willow tree. What a happy pair were we. Do I love her? Does she love me? There she said she'd wait for me, never to weep, no, for sweet Marie.
Swell song, gang. Swell song. Wasn't that a wonderful arrangement, Bob? Bob, what's the matter? Don't you like the Starlighters?
No.
You don't? Why not?
Oh, that one in the middle makes fun about my hair that I used to have.
That's just kidding, Bob. You mustn't worry.
Well, I just don't want to hear any more cracks about my hair, or I'll be swinging on a starlighter.
Please, Bob, control yourself.
Well, I'll get that one in the middle.
Bob, the one in the middle is a girl.
That doesn't scare me. I can handle her.
Robert, please, let's do our next public servant. Now, in this, I'll play the part of the taxi cab driver. Don't whistle for a cab yet, Bob. We're not ready.
I was whistling at that starlighter, Hal.
Oh, well, you'll play the part of the guy who's in a big rush to get someplace in the taxi. Think you can handle that, Bob?
Oh, is it a yellow or a checkered cab?
What possible difference can that make?
Oh, I guess you've never been president of the Yellow Cab Company.
Taxi music, please.
Hurry, Bob. The taxi's waiting out in front.
I'm all set, honey.
You got your suitcases?
Yeah.
Fishing rod?
Yeah.
Boots?
Yeah.
All right, now have a nice time. Goodbye.
Bye. Now, where's that taxi? Yes?
Will you please let me in? You're the one who's leaving.
I was wondering where that taxi was. Oh, goodbye, dear.
Bob Sweeney, haven't you forgotten something?
Forgotten something?
Did you kiss anybody?
Oh, honey, this is no time to get suspicious.
Now, you just give me one little kiss.
Honey, do I have to go on a vacation?
Now, you run along. The taxi's waiting.
Okay, bye. Well, here I am, driver. Let's go. And please hurry. I've got 20 minutes to catch a train.
He's got 20 minutes to catch a train, he says. Why don't you take it nice and slow and easy, Mac? You're going to get yourself a nice batch of ulcers.
Now, let me worry about that. You just drive to the Union Station. My train leaves in 15 minutes.
Okay. Off we go into the wire blue yonder. Off we go.
Driver, you're going in the opposite direction. The Union Station is the other way.
The other way, he says. Ever gone to the Union Station this way?
No, I certainly haven't.
And how do you know it's impossible?
Listen, you...
I'll says.
Well, you're certain you know what you're doing?
Certainly I'm certain. I know this town like the back of my hand. See there? The back of my hand? See the back of my hand, Mac?
Yes, I see it. It's awfully hairy around Main Street.
Hairy around Main Street, he says. But really, Mac, I know my driving. I only got a little crossed up once. Care to hear about it, Mac?
I'd love to. Would you like to pull over to the curb and get back here with me?
Okay, but I'll have to leave the meter up.
Now, you keep driving. I've only got 12 minutes to catch my train.
Okay, Mac, just like you say. Here we go.
Look out for that pedestrian!
You'll have to get in back, Mac. I can't drive with you sitting on a meter.
That's it. Just a moment, driver. Gotta get someplace quick. Aha! I caught you.
Please, can't you see this driver is engaged?
Is that so? Well, congratulations. I hope you two will be very happy.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Now, look, chum. Tell us where you want to go.
Grant's Tomb.
Never heard of it.
Grant's Tomb? That's in New York.
Yes, sir. You got a mighty fine head on your shoulders, friend. On second glance, you got two mighty fine heads on your shoulders.
Yes, and yours is very nice, too.
There's Grant's Tomb. Driver, stop the cab, driver.
That ain't Grant's Tomb. That's the city hall, Mac.
I beg to differ with you, sir. I've been living here in Philadelphia for 26 years, and I place a wreath on those steps every night. You must be a Confederate man.
All right, it's Grant's tomb. Please pay the driver so I can get to my train.
That'll be $1.60.
Due to a condition over which I have no control, I have only 20 cents.
Look, yo, the meter says $1.60.
Can't you just back up to 20 cents?
I'll pay his fare. Please, let's get to the station.
That's very kind of you, sir. And now, may I bid you good day? I have some friends waiting for me. Good afternoon, Mrs. Grant. Is the general home?
May we go now?
What was your last question?
I said, may we go now?
Certainly. Off we go into the wild blue yonder. Off we
Driver!
go.
Driver! Must you sing that song?
Oh, sure. That's a song of my old outfit.
Oh, so you're an ex-serviceman.
Oh, certainly. I was in the submarine service.
I don't mean to disillusion you, but the song you just sang is from the Army Air Corps.
The Army Air Corps, huh?
Yes.
Oh. Down we go into the wild green yonder. Down we go into the fish. Down we go.
Driver, we're only a few blocks from the station. I got a couple of minutes. Would you please hurry?
Okay, Mac. I'll open it wide open.
Oh, no. Don't tell me you're stalled.
Now, don't get excited, Mac. She just stalled for a minute. Don't go getting them ulcers.
But you stalled it right in the middle of the railroad tracks.
What difference does that make?
Does that answer your question? Now, I insist you get this car across these tracks.
Look, Bossy, I got my end across. Now, let's see what you can do with your end.
Can't you please do something? That train is practically on us.
Everything is going to be all right. You keep whining like that and you'll get ulcers, sure. Hey, Mac, you okay?
Oh, I'm in agony. My insides are killing me.
I know it. Just like I told you. You worried yourself right into a case of ulcers. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, as we've said before, we don't like to feel that we've put on this whole show for nothing.
We don't like to feel that way, but that's the way it is.
Bob, I'm not talking about money. Folks, we like to think that our show contains a message, that perhaps you got more than 5 or 6 chuckles out of it.
We like to think you got 10 chuckles out of it. We're dreamers.
Bob, please, this is serious. We'd like to know that you folks at home get a lift out of our sketches, that they have some significance for you. And so tonight, we're happy to read a telegram that has just come in from one of our listeners. Bob, will you bring that Western Union boy over here, please?
Here he is, Hal.
Fine. Now, son, would you be kind enough to read the wire you just delivered so that we may all hear just what our audience thinks of us?
Hollywood, California, September 14th.
Mm-hmm.
Dear Sweeney and March, stop. Signed, Mrs. Kennedy.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.
And next week, same time, same station, Sweeney and March with the Starlighters and Wilbur Hatch's orchestra. Bob Lamont speaking. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.